All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Infi versus Th000. Now, first thing I want to say that both of these players actually played random. So, Infi is the human player here. He is the random human player. Meanwhile, Th000 is the random night elf. For the people in Discord, not Discord, in chat, yes, I do. Idea of Diablo 2 remake gives me nightmares. Sorry, I missed so many streams. Green light ring, no problem. No problem whatsoever. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so I know someone had asked me a story about Farsight. So I was able to meet up with some of the developers during DreamHack, and one of the questions that they actually asked me was, what could they do to make Farsight actually viable for, well, for professional play? And I looked at them kind of like, well, like, are you kidding, or are you serious? Like, Farsight, and the reason why I gave him was basically Farsight is one of those abilities that, like in League of Legends, early on you need sentry wards, right? You need sentry wards, you need wards, you need to be able to spot your lane and know when someone's missing in your lane. But as you get better and better, you almost have this sixth sense of where your opponent is, where your opponent isn't. And that's the reason why, like, people don't use Farsight, because as you get better and better, if you're spending mana on your hero to look around the map to figure out if your opponent has somehow done something that you're not expecting, well, you're already going to be losing that fight. And he said, like, what could you possibly do to make it more viable? He's like, what happens if it revealed the whole map? And I'm like, revealed the whole map? Like, even then, there's like no skill on that anymore, right? Like, you're just revealing the whole map. You're just blindly saying, you know what, I'm gonna be able to see everything, and it just becomes almost a negative play experience for everyone else if all of a sudden it revealed the whole map. If I had to tell him what I would think to actually make Farsight a little bit more viable, I would say give it a little, like, when you unlock that ability, it automatically adds like 3 attack to the damage of the Farseer. That way, the majority of the heroes out there, the early heroes, they have a mana intensive ability and a non-mana intensive ability. Death Knight, Unholy Aura, and Death Coil being the main culprits there. Lich, you know, has a way to regenerate mana, siphon mana on the Blood Mage, auras in general as well, Entangle and Thorn's aura, True Shot aura, Searing Arrow, all of those abilities. One is mana, Stormbolt Bash. Oh, Laudos, thank you for tuning in. Like, Flame Shot for Potom, and Aura. Yeah, like, exactly. That's the reason why it actually works. Oh, beautifully done right there. Purposely aggroing before the Mountain King is able to come across. Are we going to see, perhaps, what is that? I thought a wand of mana stealing coming in from the Warden, removing much of the mana. Mountain King now being forced to try and engage here. Shadow Strike going down onto the Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest may end up getting taken down. He's trying to get saved. No, Warden doing a great job already cleaning things up here. That wand of mana stealing, a very high consumable, actually going to steal a little bit more there, as the Mountain King should be able to get to level 3. Now, this is going to be scary. A little bit shy. Is it going to be enough? 16 experience? Yeah, 1 experience enough to get to level 3. Level 2 Stormbolt could be a problem. As well, the Mountain King currently sits on, we don't know what ability. He hasn't used his second point yet. He's used his third one. As we're looking at the Warden now try and clear out the Forest Troll High Priest with an Ancient of War. Like Flame Shot for Potom, yeah. I guess if the developers actually asked me, I would say give the Farseer, if you give Farsight, add like 3 auto attack damage to the attack of the Farseer. That way it boosts his auto attack, and it's one of those abilities, right, that is still useful. All right, big steal right there, as we see now a Scroll of Town Portal in order to try to get everyone away. Ancient of War, however, will get taken down. There it goes, as the Mountain King looks to back up. Warden, I would say it would be Blink and Fan of Knives, even though both of them are in fact mana intensive. Mana becomes cheaper on the Warden with that blink ability. Also, Night Elf heroes in general, because of the way Moonwells work, they seem to benefit from having mana-intensive heroes and being able to replenish this. Who is versus who? Top left-hand side right here. If you're ever watching my stream, you can go ahead and see it is Infi versus Th000 in this matchup. Mr. Cool Trader Pro, thank you for tuning in. Mountain King now making its way back off to the north here. Warden gonna go ahead and try and engage double Forest Troll Berserker. This is very intensive on the piercing damage, and I really should be focusing on the game, telling a lot of stories here. We are going into dual Ancients of Lore coming in from Th000. Meanwhile, Th000's base is actually rather curiously laid out. All of these moonwalls off to the north. Meanwhile, Infi gonna try and engage, perhaps steal a little bit of experience as well. That Sasquatch is at 397. Oh, does a Stormbolt steal, and the Warden is having a little bit of problems. Now, we know what the Warden does in the human matchup. Are we going to see a Stormbolt coming across there? Oh, there's the other steal, but the item's picked up by that Warden, and that Warden is being controlled at level 2 for quite some time. Thank you for the follow, K-Pony, as the Mountain King now looks to back up here. Warden having plenty of mana. Mountain King, what is it doing? It's double backing around to try and split this aggro. Now, we are looking at an Arcane Tower here. There is a Town Hall Arcane Vault coming across. Looks like the Warden wants to finish off the remainder of this creep camp and set up a Tree of Life of his own. This is a lot of piercing damage, and we may be going into, well, Dryads and Bears. Coming back around on the other side, Town Hall just now taking the tier 2. We are adding in a blacksmith and a lumber mill as roll up. There goes a big fan of knives across as a Stormbolt lays down onto that Forest Troll Berserker. Thank you for the follow again. Meanwhile, more low hit point units trying to escape away. Warden could be in trouble. Another fan of knives goes across, and all of those footmen are so low on hit points. Mountain King has to be very careful there. The Warden, if it gets one more critical fan of knives, could cause some major issues as the Warden tries to catch up. Is it going to be able to perhaps wipe away all of those units? Another footman perhaps trying to be laid behind here. Mountain King getting a quick bash in on that Warden. The Warden down to 400 hit points, still trying to retreat and run away as the Warden is now down to, well, up to 105 mana. Going to go ahead and turn back around, fight just a little bit. Well, Stormbolt going down onto the Warden now as the Warden may be forced to try and back away. Another lucky bash. Fan of Knives goes, finishes off the Forest Troll Shadow Priest as the Mountain King is in serious trouble. May be forced to back away here. Scroll of Town Portal finally being used as this footman, well, wants to dodge a bit of damage and head back home. Ogre Mauler added in. Forest Troll Berserker. We're going to be looking at a Clarity Potion and Scroll of Regeneration as well for all of these footmen. 45 supply over 48 compared to what I believe is probably a comparable about, yeah, 35, no, significantly, but less for Th000, who is the Night Elf player. All right, probably just gonna refer to them as Night Elf and Human throughout the rest of the matchup so I don't get tongue-tied. You'll know who I'm talking about. Now, looking at Infi's base, we should be looking at a single Arcane Sanctum coming across here, and perhaps going into Rifle Priest. That does seem to be the standard play, but we do know that that Warden does deal a lot of damage with that Fan of Knives. Dual Arcane Sanctum is perhaps a better possibility, but then again, we already know that with the dual Ancients of Lore, we could be, and the Tree of Eternity, we could be looking at bears from the Night Elf player too. There is that single Arcane Sanctum. Now, I don't see a second one being added as of yet. Barracks is training up some units, but, well, no, Barracks not training up any units at this point, as we should be going into rifles. Thank you, Mikey Mike 123 for the sub. Does definitely help. Make sure I at least, well, no, I don't think I'm getting minimum wage as of yet for my time, but this is more of a hobby, and I really do enjoy it. Thank you for supporting me. Every little bit does definitely help. Coming back around here, Dryad trying to chase after, as we are looking at an Alchemist as the second hero. All right, Alchemist as the second hero. Footman could try and engage that Dryad. Meanwhile, Tree of Life is already done, and now trying to entangle that gold mine here. Footman versus Dryad. Dryad does end up getting slowed down by her own spear. Good deflection right there, as the Tree of Life now in a little bit of trouble. Mountain King having a bit, double scrolls of healing. Is it going to give one to the Alchemist here? And the Alchemist is trying to use that healing spray perhaps to counteract the effect of Fan of Knives. Fan of Knives, a little bit of healing spray coming across. There you go. There goes that Tree of Life. Meanwhile, Staff of Teleportation, Warden heads back home, and now we are looking at Mountain Giants instead. Mountain Giant's going to be ready to move here in just a moment. This base, very difficult to try and engage. We are looking at mastery training on those bears now, as the Alchemist and the Mountain King just working overtime, trying to clear things up. There's a Rifleman here. Double Peasant's going to get added in. Stormbolt. Oh! Stormbolt. Does it actually go down? Does it actually hit the unit? It looked like it turned a corner after that Staff of Preservation, as the Mountain Giant, well, gonna be forced to pull back. Scroll of Protection. Stormbolt now onto the Warden. Warden taking a little bit of damage. Does have Devotion or a Fan of Knives coming back across the other way, but Healing Spray on the Alchemist says, you know what? I want to keep all of these units alive for as long as I possibly can. Scroll of Protection +2, adding in additional armor right there. Healing Spray counteracting that Fan of Knives. Rifleman getting taken down, but that bear is constantly getting bashed and in trouble. Are we going to see a Staff of Preservation? No, no, we are not, as we see Experience now coming across there. Warden, Staff of Preservation, perhaps just a little bit too late. Scout Tower is now trying to get constructed here, upgrading. Warden now at level 5. We could see another Fan of Knives. Fighting next to Moonwalls, always hazardous to your health if you are not the Night Elf player. Meanwhile, Scout Towers are nearly done upgrading. Scroll of Town Portal. It looks like the Mountain King is actually going to be teleporting out, trying to save everything here and canceling the upgrades on those guard towers. All right, no expansion here as of yet, no matter what the minimap says. Meanwhile, back on the other side, 56/72 supply for the human player. You could say he barely escaped. I could say that. I think I have made that pun before. All right, well, dad jokes all the way. Alchemist. Hey, how are you doing? I can't read your name. I think it's Jelly, but hi, Jelly. Thank you for tuning in. Right, Alchemist. Well, coming in across here, looking to get to level 2. Riflemen are joining in on the fight. We don't see Spellbreakers. This is turning into a Rifle Priest style army. It is going to be effective against the Dryads, but the Bears are going to be the big issue. The Bears are going to be bearing down onto those Riflemen and taking them out very, very quickly. As we're looking at the Warden now making its way in as well. All right, Warden going to come across perhaps a Blink Fan of Knives. That nasty 1-2 combination. Oh, that one Peasant actually tried to do a little bit of a body block already, as the Warden is coming across here, absorbing that Arcane Tower damage. There's another Fan of Knives and takes down another unit. All right, Warden will be asked to retreat back once more, or be looking to retreat back once more. Meanwhile, Tree of Life is going to end up getting canceled. This is going to be a big issue, though. And even though, Stormbolt onto a bear, followed up by a Blink. Staff of Preservation for the save. Fan of Knives coming across again. No scroll. No, there is one Scroll of Healing to try and save all of that. There's a taunt right now, as the Mountain Giant, well, may end up getting taken down. Staff of Preservation is still on cooldown. Healing Spray coming across all of this once more. We may get into a Rejuvenation. No, Rejuvenation on the other Druid of the Claw. Mountain King unable to get the bolt off, but it looks like it is going to be able to stop this Tree of Life, or at least deal critical damage and force a cancellation. Priests are now trying to back away. Tree of Life down to 412 hit points. There's the cancel right now, as the Mountain King gets in a nice easy bash, followed up by a bolt. Staff of Preservation saves the same bear twice, as the Warden slips back again. Now, Riflemen, Footman, Priest. This is merely a tier 2 army. Not that much going on here. Alchemist needs to back up. Mountain King going to be in a little bit of trouble, as Dryad's going to engage again. All right, Dryad trying to head back, able to dodge all of that damage. Healing Spray once again trying to counteract all of that Warden Fan of Knife damage. We can still see the Mountain King has a Scroll of Healing. Is it going to be used if another Fan of Knives goes off? Healing Spray once again being used more. Alchemist needs to back away, down to 376 hit points. There's that Scroll of Healing being used right there to try to keep all of those units alive as well. Footman with Defend, reflecting damage back, as the Warden could get to level 6, and now all of a sudden, well, Th000 should be throwing up the Avatar of Vengeance, and this is going to go from bad to worse. Avatar of Vengeance. What is the counter to Avatar of Vengeance? It is Scroll of Town Portal. Mountain King teleporting out of this fight. What is this game? Ladder? It is. This is a ladder match from NetEase. Both of these players, Infi, Th000, choosing random at the very start. And, well, Th000 getting Night Elf, Infi getting Human. as we're looking at, well, 2 bases to 2 bases. This is a freaking game. That's a paddle-in? All right, I'm sorry. If there's a pun in there, I don't get it. All right, Spirit of Vengeance is now making their way to try and finish off some of those priests, trying to stop those units. Very difficult. You see Staff of Sanctuary coming across here. Only 1 Staff of Sanctuary. I don't see a 3rd hero as of yet, as the Warden makes her way inside and gonna just cause problems once more. All right, what is going on here? Warden were able to finish off many units. Are we going to see a Stormbolt onto that Warden? Yes, Warden now losing a lot of mana. Going to try and get a Blink out, and that is what I'm talking about. The Warden at high level, that Blink, even though it is so low on, it was low on mana, was able to get out of that. Waltari Jotas, thank you for the donation. Always great. Does Tho also play human? Yes, he does. All right, Blood Mage now trying to back away across over here. Let's take a look. Blood Mage gonna try and hide. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Siphon mana into the Mountain King. Mountain King should be able to land a Stormbolt onto some of those units as the Warden comes into play here. Staff of Preservation saves another bear again, as those bears are really causing, well, really getting saved a lot. All right, constant denial of experience. Druid of the Claw down to 195 hit points. Could get finished off here. Siphon mana from the Warden. Warden trying to back away, but there is a low hit point bear. Going to finally get taken down. Meanwhile, Mountain Giant, is it going to try and absorb more? Oh, another beautiful fan of knives, causing multiple problems as the riflemen are just getting taken out so quickly. Warden coming across over here. More taunts coming in. Mountain Giant down to 78 hit points. Another Staff of Sanctuary save. That Staff of Preservation cooldown is so low. Avatar of Vengeance, not really worth focusing down any longer, as it is about to be done. Meanwhile, the Knight is looking to back away once more. Wow, the cooldown on the Avatar of Vengeance pretty much says once 1 Avatar of Vengeance is gone, if it was killed due to or lost due to timed life, well, surprise, it is back. Warden gonna try and come across here. Is it gonna be able to slip away? There is the Mountain King. Mountain King is back over here going after that Avatar of Vengeance, and this is really not gonna do very much. Down to 60 hit points. Mountain King gets a bash in, and the follow-up shot gets the experience. But I gotta believe that the Warden, once it drinks some Moonwell juice, is gonna be able to get back in.
I await your command.
All right. Low hit point Mountain Giant will need to get some rejuvenation. Meanwhile, back down across here, Healing Spray coming in to try and keep all of these units alive and well. 54 over 72. When did this game happen? I'd have to check for you, but it's all of my games are, or I try to be recent. I believe this is patch 1.32. Staff of Sanctuary purposely sending back a Goblin Shredder immediately, and it is going to be able to start mining a lot of lumber, since we can see that Infi is currently a little bit low on that. All right, a big Staff of Preservation. Siphon mana. Warden quickly stops that with the anti-magic potion, and now we're going to be looking at an engagement here. Low hit point bear trying to sneak away. Mountain Giant is coming across over here. Bash onto the Mountain Giant, and the bear is trying to run away again. Are we going to perhaps see a Stormbolt? Mountain Giant sitting at, or Mountain King sitting at 62 mana. Knights joining in on the fight as we see, well, what is this? The Goblin Tinker coming in with rockets to slow things up again. No Staff of Preservation on that Tinker. Mountain King gonna try and come across, perhaps land a Stormbolt somewhere. There is that one mountain, or one bear, gonna be able to escape right there. There's a bash as well, as the Mountain King looking to back up once more. Stormbolt, onto the Warden, but the Warden was able to get just out of Siphon mana range, as we're looking at the units still fighting back and forth across here. Alchemist sitting at 115 mana. Blood Mage trying to get more mana anywhere it can. Kobold Geomancer completely out once more. Blood Mage could turn back around and try and siphon mana from that Goblin Tinker. No banish that I've seen as of yet, as the Kobold Taskmaster gets taken down. Mountain King with a plethora of items. Alchemist and a Blood Mage. Well, Alchemist completely bare. Blood Mage with a Potion of Invulnerability and an Ankh of Reincarnation. As the Warden does what it does best, it takes down peasants. Back off to the north here. Goblin Tinker trying to get higher up in level. Mountain King gonna perhaps try and back up Again, as the Mountain King going to try and engage here. All right, let's take a look at this. Well, constant pathing issue on the Mountain Giant, but the Mountain Giant saved by a banish. Staff of Sanctuary teleports the Mountain King all the way back home. He is going to go ahead and regenerate a lot of hit points as well, but that will take some time. The Mountain King does have a Staff of Teleportation. It will be able to rejoin in on the fight in just a little bit. Meanwhile, we are looking at Infi re-establishing his expansion over here in the center portion of the map as well. I've only seen Side took a game from Infi with Dreadlord Fast Expo. Yeah, Infi constantly just reinvents the game at random, and now Th000 also doing the same thing here. We are looking at bears, mountain giants, dryads, goblin tinker with that massive AoE stun. It doesn't last very long, but it is long enough to cause major issues. All right, Arcane Vault. So far, no additional expansions as of yet. Mountain King, well, gonna go ahead and teleport back into the fight once more. I thought he'd be bringing a Scroll of Healing. Doesn't do that, as the Blood Mage and the Alchemist still want to get some experience. There you go. If you notice, the Alchemist actually got more experience than the Blood Mage because, in fact, I do recall correctly, there is diminishing returns on experience as you level up your heroes from creeps. All right, we're going to be going into an engagement. Staff of, well, Blink coming across. Warden going to get a big fan of knives there, followed by a bold healing spray to try and heal up some of those units, but the Rifleman's just a little bit too far. Big Thunderclap trying to save units again as siphon mana away from that Warden. Blood Mage is still right there, sitting at level 2, almost level 3, as we see a stun to try and stop any healing spray. Yeah, that's what the Tinker is there for. The Tinker is there for the rockets to stop the healing spray. Stormbolt onto the Tinker. Tinker now pretty much out of mana, and that's going to be problematic as well. Alchemist, however, doesn't have that much mana either. What is it going to do? Try and healing spray some more siphon mana into the Mountain King. Mountain King is going to be able to get off some more Thunderclaps. Yes, it does. It is the level 3 clap variety. That was a Tome of Retraining that it purchased from the shop earlier. Mountain King's trying to go after units still once more, and Thunderclap Retrain really living up to the hype once again as the Mountain King is just clapping his way to victory. Oh, the slow clap dealing so much damage to all of these units as the Warden could get taken down. Warden, did the Warden get taken out? No, Warden, yes, the Warden was taken out. I think so. Yeah, it's so difficult to spot right there. All right, Knights low on hit points. Staff of Sanctuary should really be sending some of those units back. Avatar of Vengeance could be getting some easy kills here as we're looking at the Mountain Giant down to 164. More siphon mana coming across here. Mountain King, does it have enough mana to get off another Stormbolt? We're going to see a Knight lost, and that is a big setback. We should be looking at more Staff of Sanctuaries as the Alchemist is trying to save units too. All right, Mountain Giant down to 188 hit points. Pretty much drains those Moonwells. Siphon mana away from the bears. Those bears are going to be staying in bear form. Meanwhile, Knights trying to regroup, but getting stalked by those Avatar of Vengeance units. Alchemist still has plenty of mana for some healing spray. Cooldown on that Staff of Sanctuary is incredibly important as the units are looking to back up again. Third base now set up here. Main bases have been mined out. It is 1 base versus 2 base so far as Th000 is in trouble. Battling it out once again. Slow clap. Taking down so many units in that front line, but a Knight was lost there. However, the Goblin Tinker should be using this opportunity to get a lot of experience and perhaps get to level 3. This is going to be the dangerous point. If the Tinker can get to level 3 again, there is a power spike in the abilities in those stuns, and the Mountain Giant may be getting into a little bit of problems. Siphon mana away from another bear again, and it almost looks like if the Blood Mage had Flame Strike, it would work out well. Blood Mage with Flame Strike and Siphon mana, take the mana away from your opponent, let Thunderclap do its thing, and then Flame Strike to follow it up. Stun once more onto the Blood Mage there to stop the true channeling abilities of the Alchemist, as the Priests now get Inner Fire as well. All right, more battling coming in. Mountain Giant did get Staff of Sanctuary back home as the Alchemist tries to fend off this bear army here as we're looking at a Staff of Teleportation coming in. Warden is here, ready to go once more. Knights need to get away. Blink Fan of Knives, Anti-Magic Potion, and on Avatar of Vengeance to follow it up, as Th000 is going to start cleaning up some of these, well, powerful knights, getting even more experience again. Tinker, almost at level 3. Alchemist, well, trying to run back away again. Blood Mage sitting at level 3. Mountain King is here, ready to go, and they're going to be going into a bit of an engagement. All right, double Staff of Sanctuary on the Alchemist. That's not what you want to see right now. Mountain King gets in a big Thunderclap, Siphon Mana, trying to pull back again. Are we going to look at, well, no more, wow, even the Fan of Knives is eating away at those knights there, dealing terrible damage. All right, are we going to see Staff of Sanctuary being transferred around again? Mountain King needs to take a Staff of Sanctuary, or something needs to staff that Alchemist. Perhaps the Mountain King should be able to get that Alchemist there, as we see a Thunderclap slow all of those units once more. Low hit point Priest going to get taken out. Siphon Mana, Healing Spray, trying to stay alive. Goblin Tinker still in that front line there. Healing Spray, getting both hit points and mana going once more, but the Blood Mage now out of mana. That's going to be a problem, as the Warden blows away another Fan of Knives there to eat through many of those knights. Knights having high armor units, generally very effective, but they still take full magic damage from that Warden, and that's the problem with hit points versus armor. And if you end up taking the majority of your damage as magic affects the units, even with Inner Fire, can easily get blown away by that Fan of Knives. Blood Mage, Alchemist, Mountain King making its way back down. So many low hit point units. We are looking at also a low hit point Mountain Giant, but is it going to get it focused down? We do see Sundering Blades, and that damage does add up rather fast. Mountain King, there's the Thunderclap. Staff of Sanctuary saves again. The Knights are trying to survive. Healing Spray, and it looks like that Knight is going to barely make it. No, finally taken down once more. Goblin Tinker in a massive run. Mountain King doesn't have enough mana. The Goblin Tinker is moving very quickly right now, as the Mountain King tries to close in on that distance. All right, Scroll of Healing coming back across the other side here. Blood Mage unable to siphon mana from any of those units. There goes some more damage here. Is the Goblin Tinker gonna, get Storm Bolted right before the Scroll of Town portal? Oh, this has been a crazy match once more. Infi, well, Scroll of Regeneration trying to heal up all of his units. Blood Mage sitting at level 3 right now, almost at level 4. Avatar of Vengeance, well, pretty much just gonna try and run back. No easy way to slow that down, as the Avatar of Vengeance escapes away at 600 hit points. This has been crazy. Alchemist gonna get a Clarity Potion. Blood Mage not using a Clarity Potion, but no easy targets for Siphon Mana as of yet. Meanwhile, on the top right-hand side of the map, Th000 needs to set up this expansion. If he sets up this expansion, that will pretty much be the end of it. Tree of Eternity already down to 836 hit points. Is trying to regenerate, trying to fight back here, but this could be the death here, as the Priests are actually getting picked apart. Well, getting lost in transit, always a big issue, as 2 more Priests could get lost here. All right, Staff of Sanctuary, Tree of Eternity is lost here. Mountain King, no Scroll of Town portal. This would be a perfect time to just try and escape and let your economic advantage take the game, but the Mountain King does not have a Scroll of Town portal, nor do any of the other heroes. Potion of Invulnerability finally being used. Well, Thunderclap being used to try and take down some of those bears, as the Avatar of Vengeance is back in play. Knights trying to finish off the units once again. Blood Mage can't do very much. Fan of Knives comes across. Mountain King looking to finish off some of those units. Healing Spray. Mountain King, is it going to be able to take down any of those bears? That is the question. 60 supply over 90 still for the human army. Knights are dealing a lot of damage. Mountain King, are any of those units actually going to end up getting taken down? Come on, there goes, no, wow. Staff of Preservation saves another Mountain Giant. All right, multiple Staffs of Preservation has really been what this game is all about. Staff of Sanctuary is also resetting Knights. These Knights are going to get healed back up and ready to go again. But there has been so many staffs to save units. However, Staff of Preservation, it teleports to here. 37 hit points. That Tree of Life, 1 mine, and that is it. All right, what's going to be happening next? Coming back down to the south. Once more, we're looking. Town Halls mining away. We're looking at the Mountain King finally getting up to level 6. Knights should be able to finish this off, and once this expansion is gone, what you see is what you get. That is not going to be good news at all. Blood Mage. Gonna go ahead and Siphon and Stormbolt right there. Let's take a look at this. Dryads trying to, well, cause a little bit of problems. Knights, are they gonna get saved here? Tree of Life, about to get taken down. No, constantly getting saved here as the healing spray is still working overtime. All right, there's a Thunderclap taking down every single one of those wisps. There goes the expansion, and that could be the game. Mountain King with the slow clap to take down all of those wisps that were repairing. No expansion any longer for Th000, and this could be the end of that. Staff of Sanctuary saving another knight here as the stabs are just moving units back and forth. Healing Spray, Alchemist almost at level 5 now as the game is over. Th000 losing... Th000 winning that matchup up against Infi. A beautiful matchup here. Let's take a look. 6-4-4 compared to a 7-3. The Warden working overtime again to finish off a lot of units. Mountain Giants constantly getting stabbed, constantly getting saved. And in the end, though, that third base by Infi, the human player, able to hold on to that economic advantage. Tree of Eternity walked all the way to the other side to try to establish up a new base, but Th000 was just out of position, unable to protect it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.